third graders. Hey, Smokey and I are here for math time. It's our math lesson time. And normally this is Fun Friday, but I really wanted to spend one extra day getting a little bit, helping you get a little bit stronger in area and perimeter. It's really important for us to get a better understanding, which most of you are really there or almost there. So feel good about that. I just wanted to spend some more time going over a few things before we move on. I hope you can concentrate with Smokey here. So let's start with area and perimeter. Today's lesson is going over the quiz that you took. So our learning goal has been for several weeks. We as mathematicians will understand that area and perimeter are attributes of plane figures. Plane figures are shapes that are flat, and that's a geometric terminology. To be successful, I want you to be able to calculate area and perimeter of a plane figure. So our next slide is the first question on the quiz. And it asked you to determine the area of the figure. What we've been working on, boys and girls, is taking one large rectangle and dividing it or breaking it into two smaller shapes. And why we do that is I gave one student an example of what if it were the longer, the lower, right? If this length was 15 and this was 3, Smokey, stop it. Then it would be hard because do you know what 15 times 3 is to calculate the area? No. So the reason why we're practicing this is when you get into higher lengths, larger numbers, you can break them into smaller pieces and then calculate the area. That's the strategy of this skill that I'm trying to teach you. So here's the first question. We were asked to calculate the area of two different shapes and add it up to find the area of the large shape. So we were given 5 units for this measurement, 3 units for this measurement, 3 units for this measurement. Well, I added 8 because I know 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's just what I added for my own purpose of solving the problem. So I started with shape A and I just labeled it because it makes it easier for me to talk about. And I'm a visual learner, so I really like to label and work through things on paper. So shape A, to calculate the area is the space inside, length times width. Length times width, 3 times 3. Oh, look, that's what I wrote. Okay, B is 3 times 5. 3 times 5. So there's my equation. I asked all of you to write out an equation in our math warm-up. Very few of you followed the example. This is really important. Many of you could have calculated 8 times 3 is 24, but I need to see that you're able to write out an equation and really follow directions as well. It's not only solve the problem, but follow directions. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 3 times 5 is 15. Oh, now I'm ready for the next step. 9 plus 15. As you can see right over here, I solved it, 24. Area for this entire rectangle is 24. 24 what? So many of you had 24, but you didn't label your answer. This is a major concern of mine. Everybody listen. It's important to label your answers, not some, not a few, all of them in math. I want you to promise that you're really going to do your best, trying to move my screen over, and label your answer. So what you're saying is 24 square units will fill in this shape. All right, that was problem 1. Problem 2, it gave you this shape, and then it said, hey, the area of this rectangle, the space inside is 80 square units. I'm given this measurement, 8, Uh-oh, I have to solve for that one. So I'm showing you two different strategies in order to find the length of that side. I can say 8 times what is 80? Because I know the formula for area is length times width. Length times width. So I have 8 times is 80. Or if I'm really at that level, I can take the whole area, divide it by what I have, which is 8, and find the answer. The length is 10. 10 what? 10 units. And it's length, not square units, because it's the measurement of that one side. Number 3. We had this problem, it said, you have two different shapes. And let me go get it real quick. I'm sorry, I meant to have this on the slide. So the question says on the quiz, the area of a rectangle is, oh, that was number 2. We're on number 3. Rectangles A and B have the same areas. Rectangle A is 3 inches wide by 8 inches long. So that's the information we're given. That's what we know. Then it goes on to say, if rectangle B is 4 inches wide, how long is it? So we're given 3 pieces of information. The length and the width of A and the width of B. So they also told us that both of these rectangles have the same area. So what do we know? Hey, we know that rectangle A, 3 times 8. Oh, so we figured out the area is 24 square inches. Okay, so now we're going to build on that. With knowing that this is also 24 square inches, we're going to do what we did in the previous problem. 24 divided by what we know, this length, 4. Or I can ask myself, 4 times is 24. If you have to go to your multiplication chart, do it, but you really, third graders, we need to have this mastered already, our multiplication facts. So 6 times 4 is 24, and it's inches because they gave us that information. Now we're going to go on to 5. Uh-oh, I pasted the same picture twice. So hopefully I can do this while you're watching. I'm going to insert the correct picture, which is over here. So here we are, problem solving. I'm so sorry that this happened, but we're going to fix it real fast. So here are questions 4 and 5. There we go. 4 said, which figure has an area of 18 square centimeters? So you had A, B, and C. And what you had to do was skip count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would have labeled this 8, and this label side I would label 1. Same thing on this. I'll tell you right now, this is 6, and this is, oh, I drew that wrong. It should have been 2. So I want you to know that should have been 2. And the figure C is 6 by 3. So I know 3 times 6 is 18. So that gives us the answer of figure C. So then, problem 5, our last one. It's said to solve for the perimeter. Some of you solve for area. And it's really easy to assume, hey, that was area, the next problem is going to be area. In math, as well as everything else, it's really important to read closely and make sure you're solving for what the question's asking you to solve for. Perimeter for each figure. Figure A, I labeled it, I would have labeled it if this were mine. This was 8 plus 1 plus 8 plus 1. I saw many of you write it out like that. I'm so proud of you for doing that. 9 plus 9 is 18, and it's centimeters. Figure B, this was actually 7. This should have been 2, 7, 2. That's 18. Figure C, as we discussed, is 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3. Perimeter is all the way around. You add up all the sides. So we just added up all the sides. So not only is labeling your answer important, boys and girls, it's also important to show all of your work. I wanted to show you my work so that you could get an idea of what showing your work looks like. Many of you can actually solve the problem in your head. So I can't do that, so nice job for you. I don't have that kind of mind. But also, when your teacher says show your work, you need to show your work, because when we're in a real classroom situation, even now, I want you to show your work, because I can't read your mind. I can't go next to you and say, hey, what were you thinking when you answered that problem? Because I can't see what your work is. That's why really teachers keep asking you to show your work in math. So I hope that you did a good job in really understanding what the quiz is all about compared to how you did. That's what we are looking for. Now I'm going to give you similar questions, problems to solve again today. I really want to see everybody try their best, show their work, and take a picture of your work, whether it's your family taking a picture on the phone. You can take a picture on the Chromebook, can't you? Email it to me. What else? Seesaw, you can send it. My class can send it to me. Figure it out. You guys are really good with technology. I need to see your work. So you can now go to Google Classroom, click on the link, and you'll have your assignment there. So happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I really do miss all of you wonderful kids. Bye bye.